Okay, what comes to mind? Do you want me to start? Or?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay, very good.
And they'll come up.
Sure, yes. So there is quite a few things that are connected to this beautiful quality of gratitude. So one of the things that we sometimes teach to develop is one of the Brahma Viharas, one of the kind of highest hangout places for the mind, as I like to call them, or the ideal attitudes that they're sometimes called as well. And that attitude is called mudita. And it's related to another word which you hear when you bring food to the monastics, for example. We anumodana, that you come to the monastery and do something good. So these words are all connected to each other. And it's basically rejoicing. I really like the word rejoicing. So you're seeing something beautiful and you have a heart which encourages that quality, which sees that quality, which takes joy in that quality. And mudita usually is taught towards other people, towards things that they are experiencing, towards even their mental states that we appreciate in them. So we rejoice in that goodness. But sometimes we forget ourselves. We can rejoice in our own goodness. We can rejoice in our own hearts. It's the same thing. It's a quality that is either on the outside or it's on the inside, but it's the same kind of quality. So rejoicing is a really nice word. So if you want to let that kind of resonate, because that connects to gratitude as well. It's not exactly the same thing, but we are grateful for something, and we can only be grateful for good things, really. And a lot of those things also can be rejoiced in. And there is a kind of like a cascade there as well. And the beautiful simile that Ajahn Brahm taught in the past, that I kind of adopted for this specific reason, or for this specific topic when I teach it. And that's the simile of the photo album. So you're all familiar with taking photos. Maybe not so much anymore with the old cameras. Now everyone has phones and everyone is taking, way too many photos, and then they fill up your cloud and you have to empty your cloud or you have to buy more cloud space. Anyway, let's not go there. So when we are taking pictures, in the past we had to be a bit more selective because you only had 24 pictures or 36, I think it was, on a film. So you would have a look around and you would choose wisely and then you would take a picture. So that kind of represents the recognition that we talked about. So you recognize that something is worth recording, that something is worth inclining your mind towards, and then taking that picture. And then once you have taken that picture, let me see, I actually have a little poster for this because I taught it a few times. So you recognize and you take the picture, and then you appreciate. That's what we talked about before. So you go and you develop those pictures. That's what used to happen back then. And then you take those pictures and put them in a nice album. I think we still do that with digital pictures, but maybe we have way too many digital pictures in albums these days on the cloud. But anyway, it's a kind of a choice that we make, and it's important. So we recognize, we appreciate, we linger there, but then we take those beautiful memories out every now and then. We focus back on them, and then we do this beautiful thing which is called savoring. So we take them out, Christmas time is coming, you go and get your old albums out, and you look at those beautiful memories that you had together. And here it's very clear as well in this simile. Ajahn Brahm says, you don't have any pictures from the funerals that you have attended with the corpse, or you don't have any pictures of when you lost your job, or you don't have any pictures of when things went wrong, basically, after your divorce or whatever. So you naturally choose those things which are positive and uplifting. And then you savor them like you would savor a nice meal. So sometimes we're not mindful enough. Sometimes we are stressed and we just basically shove it into our face, as they say. And what we want to do is to savor it, to give it time, to really linger on it, to chew on it, to get all the beautiful juice out of this beautiful thing. So that's what we can do with gratitude, you know. Sometimes we feel like, oh yeah, I'm grateful for that. And then like, all right, what else? Rather than taking something that we're grateful for, appreciating, savoring it. And then the last one is to treasure it. So we have it in a beautiful photo album, and we put that album in a shelf somewhere, and we know it's there, and we treasure it, we hold on to it. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, you know, that there is such a thing as positive attachment, when we treasure things that are good, but we are not too sad if they, for some reason, don't work out or we lose them. Because that was the criticism someone had for me. It's like, this is very un-Buddhist. We shouldn't treasure things. You know, we should be letting go of everything. And should we let go of our precepts? Should we let go of our goodness? Should we let go of the peace in our own hearts? Not really. It is true that eventually we'll have to let go of them. But that's something which happens quite naturally. So anyway, that's the poster and the simile of the photo album. Taking a picture, creating an album, looking at the album, and then remembering it and holding it dear. But let's carry on a little bit with that attachment thing that we talked about in our online session yesterday. So of course, unwholesome attachments are not good. If we are holding on to something to such a degree that we have irritation and ill will and all these kind of things arising in our hearts. But if it's beautiful qualities, then what happens, it is again a path that progresses. So Ajahn Brahm and Ajahn Brahmali have brought up this beautiful simile of the ladder that have many different rungs. And if you're climbing up a ladder, which is going up quite high, you want to be safe. You want to hold on to that ladder. So we want to hold on to our precepts. We want to hold on to goodness. That's the other kind of story that Ajahn Brahm sometimes tells. One of his supporters took the 5 precepts. And the 5th precept is not drinking alcohol. So he went to, the functions with his friends. And, they were going around with the drinks. And one of the guys with the drinks was a bit of a smart ass. And he came up to that person and said, have a drink. And he said, no, thank you. I'm a Buddhist, I can't have a drink. And he said, oh yeah, Buddhism. Oh yeah, I've heard about Buddhism. This is really great. Buddhism is all about letting go, isn't it? Let go and have a drink. And that's the wrong type of letting go. So some things we want to hold on to. Okay, so we hold on to our precepts, we hold on to the beauty in our hearts, and then we hold on to the insights and the wisdom we have gained. But the type of holding on we do in Buddhism always is combined with letting go at the same time and climbing up that ladder. So in order to reach the next rung and to go one rung higher, we have to let go of the rung down below. It's important, it's a foundation. We have to step on it and rely on it, but as we are going upwards, we slowly move into more and more letting go. So all these qualities that I described before, again, they are not based in craving and attachment in terms of wanting to have and not to have. They are based in letting go. They're based in contentment. They're based in this movement towards simplicity, to less and to more ease, peace and stability. So it's this kind of gradual thing. And the other simile that we have in the suttas as well, that probably the ones who've been around have heard about a lot, is the simile of the raft. And the raft represents our teachings. And the raft is the thing which takes you from the shore of suffering, across the floods of defilements and across the floods of all this, dangerous kind of currents to the safety of the other shore. So while you are in that flood, while you are in that river, please hold on to that raft. But once you get to the other side, then you don't need it anymore, isn't it? And then you can let go completely. But that's because all these qualities have already been established within your own heart. And you don't actually need any kind of ground to stand on anymore because you've gone through this difficult territory already. So you don't want to be carrying around your raft on your head once you're on the other side. So then it's good to put it down and to let it go. And in meditation, obviously, it's a little bit like that as well. So we practice in daily life to overcome the bigger kind of sorts of defilements that need a bigger kind of stronger raft. And as we go into more stillness, as we go into more peace, it becomes more subtle. So it's like this other simile of when someone is going to see the Buddha in a place. They can come in a chariot initially that carries you a long way. So we practice in our day-to-day life. But then as things refine, you come into the monastery. You take off your shoes. You get out of your car. It's more subtle. You walk. And then, you still have your shoes on, sorry. And you walk in the monastery and then you come to the building where the Buddha is, and then you take off your shoes and go into the building and meet the Buddha. So it's this gradual refinement of the mind and of the effort that we put in. So we need a bit more effort when we are outside, when we're doing things, but as we go into meditation, that effort becomes more subtle. It becomes more nuanced. And I also described it one time with being on a journey, on a road. So you want to make sure you are heading in the right direction. And then once you're in the right direction, this is a big movement. But then you're on the road and you just want to make sure you stay on the road. If you carry on doing these big jerky movements, you'll actually drive off the road. So you have to know when to use how much effort and to do that skillfully. So as we are moving into more still and peaceful mind states, we also need a more still and peaceful and kind of more fine kind of hand to nudge. And the most beautiful thing is when we don't nudge at all. The most beautiful thing is when we rejoice. When we see those beautiful things, when we open up the heart to those beautiful things, and we let it incline in that direction quite automatically. The simile that I sometimes use for that is when I was in Newbury, we would burn the kind of fuel that we had on our property, make a big pile and make a nice big bonfire. And I don't know if it's just me, but when you are close to that bonfire, and it's often very cold out there in Newbury as well, you are naturally drawn to the fire. It has a certain quality of pulling you in. It's not this kind of pull like the desires and the defilements in the world. It's a much more quiet, peaceful inclination of the mind. And that's what starts to happen in meditation quite naturally as well. As those beautiful states start to arise in our bodies and in our minds, those beautiful states of joy, of happiness, of peace, when we familiarize ourselves with them, they actually draw the mind in if we only let it to be drawn in. And then the focus happens very naturally. We don't have to make it. We don't have to do it. We don't have to drive it. We are actually attracted by it quite naturally. Okay, that's maybe a few more words of encouragement. Would you like to build on those or go somewhere else?
Yes. So gratitude is a quality of mind that is, if we skillfully develop, then it's a great benefit to one's practice. Sometimes easier said than done. So I'll give you an example. So last week, myself and some monks, we did a concrete pour at the monastery. So it's something that we do quite often. maybe once a year or twice a year when there's a project. So one of the project was in the back. They extend the electrical room, so there's a concrete foundation. Then on the side, where I service and maintain the vehicle in the monastery, we added a concrete slab, so we can store all the jerry can and diesel fuel outside. So it's a bit safer. If there's a fire, it will burn outside, not inside the workshop. Then at the front, we added a concrete slab, because when you get a lot of rain, the water comes down the side of the road and it actually flood into the workshop. So I asked Ajahn Brahm permission to put one slab at the front and one at the side, and the electrical monastic decided to do one at the back. So we spent about, I think, 4 weeks to get the foundation ready, get things dug out. So when the cement truck came last Tuesday, it came on the perfect day where it was not too hot. It was about 20 degrees. That was perfect because pouring concrete in the morning we don't have enough time, so in the afternoon it's usually ideal. But sometimes it can become really hot. So I ordered the cement truck. It came at earlier than what I expected. I ordered it at 12:30. It came about 12:10. So I was just finished my lunch, and my friend came over and told me that the concrete truck is here. So I have to rush all the way to where the concrete truck is, and they already started laying the concrete. So I helped to lay the concrete and move it around. But there were so many flies. For some reason, all the flies came out, and they start buzzing around. So I got flies over my back, over my face, and it was quite annoying. But okay, no worries. I just concentrate on the concrete. So I was smoothing it out, and everywhere I smooth, sometimes the other monastics will come and make things smooth out here, and they'll put a board and walk on top of the concrete to smooth things out. So sometimes they mess up the work. They have to go back, continue smooth that out. I think the concrete slab was quite big as wide as this carpet. Then the one next door was half the size of the cupboard. So I was managing to do the front and the side, then go back to the front and start doing it over again. So first time I do a concrete work and smoothing it out. So once it was done, it was hardened. I can't do anything about it. So the next day I came back and I looked at the concrete, and all my eyes saw was all the defect. That is not smooth. That's got hole. That is not straight. Just slightly deformed. I started to go, okay, this is not a good idea. Because my eyes fault finding on the concrete and looking at all the defect. But I realized, okay, I need to look at all the good parts. So I looked at all the good parts, and that was actually, we say, 90% of the concrete was nice, flat, and very smooth. There's only maybe 5 or 10% that was slightly off. Not as perfect as what I expected, but it was good enough. Then it actually reminded me of Ajahn Brahm when he was laying the bricks in the shower block when he was a junior monastic. Not junior, middle monk with Ajahn Jagarola. He was an abbot, and Ajahn Brahm was the second in charge. So he was laying out the bricks. I say at that time he did a lot of bricklaying, one by one. And one time he was doing a bricklaying, and for some reason he laid out 2 bricks that was slightly out of shape. One stuck out and one was slightly sideways. So he saw that and was like really disappointed and unhappy. So he asked Ajahn Jagarola if he can knock down the wall or put dynamite to actually blow up the wall and start over again. But Ajahn Jagarola, that's the abbot at the time, said no, we don't have much money, so just leave it as it is. So every time you continue doing the bricks, every time he see the 2 back bricks, he'll get upset, and really it felt really disappointed with himself and quite upset. And every time when there's people coming in to inspect the monastery and the work, he will try and basically guide them away from the 2 back bricks. But one time there was some support that came over, and he looked at the wall and told Ajahn Brahm, wow, that wall is so beautiful. And Ajahn Brahm looked at him and say, are you blind? Don't you see the 2 bad bricks? And the supporter said, yes. we can see those two back bricks, but we can see the 999 good bricks. Then Ajahn Brahm stopped and realized, oh, that's true. Like that shower block or evolution block, most of the bricks are perfect. There was just two bad bricks that was slightly out of shape and not perfect enough. Because when Ajahn Brahm does the job, he really does it, and he works by himself. So he really put all the effort to put every bricks and mortar in the exact place and location. So it has to be really perfect. So I realized that even with the concrete mixer, I try my best, but sometimes it's not perfect. But there are some errors that's not perfect, because I'm still a learner and also a beginner doing concrete work. So same with Ajahn Brahm, he realized that okay, it's not perfect. There's two bad bricks, but there's 999 good bricks. So same in life, we do a lot of good things, we try our best, but sometimes things are not perfect. Things do go wrong in life, and sometimes life is like two bad bricks. When things do go wrong, we spend too much effort just looking at the two bad bricks in life. But we have done 999 good acts or 299 good bricks in life. So that's a good way of training the mind. And one time Ajahn Brahm was taking some contractors and around to show the place, and the tradespeople say sometimes when things go wrong or slightly out of shape, they call it a feature. That sometimes people pay more to have a nice feature. But in life, I find that when I do something wrong, I see as not a failure, but a lesson and an experience. Because the more things go wrong for myself, I realize it's always a lesson. So when it's a lesson, I learn from it and I grow from it. So life should be always a lesson when things don't go our way and things are not perfect. Also in the monastery, I do a lot of vehicle maintenance, and sometimes I try my best to maintain the vehicle, but sometimes we have so many drivers, and sometimes the vehicle do get damaged. So one time we got donated a second-hand vehicle. So one of the drivers using it, he smashed the front. He told me, okay, no worries. So I came and ordered some lights, fixed up the panels, make it nice, as good as possible, to as regional as possible. Then a month later, he came up to me and said, sorry, Venerable, I smashed the back. I said, okay, not a problem. So I took out some of the panels, whack it back to shape, make it really as perfect as possible. Then I went to India for my pilgrimage. Then I came back, so I was walking past, just inspecting the vehicle, and I saw the back was smashed. I completely lost it. I go, who are these clowns? Can't they see things properly? How come I go keep on fixing those vehicles? So I lost it a bit. Then I realized, okay, I need to catch myself. I said, I need to stop complaining. I realized human beings are just human, and they do make mistakes. And when they make mistake, it's just a lesson. So the world cannot be perfect, but we can learn to let things go and let things be. It's not that we let go completely. It's just sometimes it's out of control. So sometimes when when we get a brand new car, I feel happy. Also, I feel a little bit sad because I know those vehicles will be damaged in the future. We just got a brand new ute. Because we was debating, are we going to get a second-hand ute or a new ute? So the Sangha say, let's get a new ute. Because usually I give a recommendation. If we get a second-hand ute, we might have problem after 7 years. If we get a new ute, then we won't have any problem until after 15 years. And so the Sangha voted to get a new ute. They went to town. Ajahn Brahm went to town to get approval from the committee. And one of the committee members had one of those new hybrid vehicle. And asked Ajahn Brahm, why don't you look into getting a new hybrid vehicle? So Ajahn came back and asked me, should look at getting a electric hybrid ute. Okay, no worries. So I did some research when I test out the vehicle. Came back, I said, wow, it's a really good vehicle. It's about, it costs just a little bit than the lowest range Hilux, but basically it's quite worth getting it. So yeah, because because it's electric, we can use it on electric most of the time. The monastery have 120 solar panels, so we plug it in, we charge it with a solar panel. Then basically most of the time we can run it without running any fossil fuel. Yeah, so we just got the ute 2 weeks ago, and yeah, so I was quite happy. I'm pretty proud of the vehicle, and I think that more than Sangha members are happy. So I have to remind myself, yes, it's good to have a good vehicle, but I know things will go wrong within a few years' time. So yeah, that's what I expected. But I also expected it for our first electric ute that we got 3 years ago, and I told Hutchin Brown it will be damaged within 2 years, and the vehicle we kept it for almost 2 years, almost 3 years now, and it's still in very good condition. So sometimes I can see my mind going to negative thoughts quite easily, because sometimes when we have vehicles that's donated to the monastery, especially second-hand vehicles, people don't really take care of it. But with the new vehicles, they're brand new and they have so many cameras and sensors, so people actually put the effort to take care of the vehicle. So yeah, sometimes I need to sometimes I just got to remind myself not to look at the negative things that happen until it happens. And once it happens, oh, no worries, it does happen, and we learn from it. So it's something that even myself, I have to catch myself not to look at the two bad bricks or the defect with the concrete or the damage to the vehicle. Because in life, we all grow old and we all get sick time to time. So it's just two bad bricks. So we should have gratitude that the new vehicles are kept in very good condition for almost 3 years, and our body and our health is pretty good. We hardly get sick these days. I think most of us are more healthier than before. I find that a lot of practitioners and meditators, they tend to be more mindful of the body, so they tend to keep the body in good conditions. Bhantes Bodhidhaja, you have anything to add?
No, great, yeah. That's kind of already advanced kind of practice. So when we have things that we can be grateful for, then we can practice towards when everything goes wrong. And then when you lose your health, then you're also, you might be scared that you're losing your health, and then once you lose it, you're going to go like, no, I don't like this, and why is this body? And you focus on that sickness instead of realizing, oh, I just lost something which I had for however long it was, 5 years without getting sick. And it's like, wow, I should be grateful for that, shouldn't I? And there's so many different ways to reflect on this. Also the kind of things that we look at, we focus on the things like the two bad bricks, and they fill up our consciousness, and we only see that. But if we were to reflect and see that some people on this earth out there would pay a lot of money to have a body just like ours, even though it is flawed, it's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good model. It's still running. It's still breathing. It's still able to, talk and walk and cook and serve and help. So it's beautiful to kind of put these things into perspective. And then the other thing is always the response. So if something tragic happens, then what is our response? What is the response of all the people around us as well? So when flooding hits, when COVID comes, what happens? And the most beautiful things that usually do happen is that the community comes together, that they support each other, that they help each other. And there was one person who once commented on that. They came into a situation where there was a bushfire or some sort of catastrophe, and they were so heartened to see how people who didn't even know each other actually cared for each other. They came together, they rose to the occasion, and they asked this beautiful question: why can't we do this every day? Why do we need a disaster? Why do we need sickness? Because we forget. It's the same with gratitude. We forget. It's right there. It's just a habit to develop. And hopefully we have kindled you to investigate and to invest in that a little bit more.